Helmet gate.
The Baltimore Ravens versus the Texans.
Yes.
Very
spanking.
Very impressive because going into it, the Ravens were the 2 seed and the Texans were the 3 seed. And I still think the Texans are good, but we've kind of talked about it the last few weeks. Like, obviously, Lamar's gained confidence, and he's just getting better at quarterback. And the addition of Marcus Peters from the trade and Jimmy Smith's their other corner who came back from injury, their defense is playing at another level. Obviously, offense is really starting to gel. Everyone's finding out what they can do. And what they did to a Texans team, which is a good team, just railroaded them.
Well, and I think part of that is Lamar factor. You know, you're on a team with that guy. You know you're going to see some magic moments. And also, you can see those guys. They just believe. I mean, they flat out believe. They play hard from top to bottom, all those guys. I mean, just some of his passes, he stayed in the pocket. I mean, the world is crashing around him. He stayed in the pocket and just zipped that thing. 2 of those touchdowns.
Yeah, just very efficient. I mean, not only threw for 222 yards, but 4 touchdowns, 1 to Roberts, 1 to Andrews, 2 to Ingram. And it's actually, that's the scariest part is, too, like Ingram hasn't really caught a lot of balls. Ingram showed in New Orleans he can catch. Like, if he really gets the running backs also involved, it just opens up another dimension.
Oh, yeah.
They had 7 sacks against Texans' offensive line who played pretty well. Bowser and Judon both had 2 sacks apiece. So, like we've kind of talked about, they're really. And it's funny when you watch the game after that we had in this area was the Patriots versus the Eagles, and I know they beat them a few weeks ago, but you just look at the disparity between the New England, and I don't even care if it's in Foxborough. The way the Ravens are playing, they're going to smoke them.
And the only touchdown pass for the Patriots came from Edelman. In that game.
Yeah.
First time that's
Brady's
happened.
age is beginning to show. I mean, he shorted at least 4 passes. I saw a little bit of that game, and he shorted. I mean, they were hitting at people's ankles. Sanu grabbed one right off the ground that was completed. But, I mean, it's showing now.
They've been bailed out. Again, like the main consistent thing with them, they've been bailed out. Their defense is one of the best defenses, and if they do beat Baltimore, it'll be because their defense just kind of figures out how to slow down Lamar enough. And then kind of like if you watch that game, in the second half, Patriots were able to come back against Baltimore because they went hurry up. Maybe if they can get that working again. But like
catch them off guard.
But still, like if you're asking me, like if they played 10 times out of 10, I'd say the Ravens will win 8 out of them. So
and you hear Lamar talk, and it's all about the brotherhood and about the coach.
Oh yeah,
it's a team.
Oh, I don't know if you all heard the press conference afterwards.
Yeah.
Where Mark Ingram introduced them. Like they are so bought in. They are so bought in, and they should be. I mean, Lamar deserves it for the way he's playing, and he definitely has put himself in position right next to Russell Wilson as an MVP candidate. So
I mean, you call it now, and I think he's it, isn't he? I mean, how do you be 8-2, do what he's done, and not be MVP?
I mean, Russell Wilson's still, but to be fair to your point, just the excitement level, and obviously Baltimore is a bigger market for football. So to be fair to your point, he probably does get the edge.
It's more press on the East Coast.
He's had the flashier plays. I mean, that double spin move and stuff. And I give Russell has kept them in games that they probably shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say about New England.
Yep.
Think about Philadelphia has no offense. The receivers, they're down to like they're playing taxi squad receivers.
They brought Jordan Matthews off the street.
Yeah.
From they signed him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean it's just nuts. And so they were still had a moment. You know, they had a chance in that game. I mean, I feel for Wentz. I badmouthed him on occasion, but I feel for him. And it's like I feel for Trubisky. That game, he hit 2 receivers right in the hands with long balls. You're paid. All you got to do is catch that ball. And they didn't do it. I don't think it's fair to him. I don't think he's the future for them.
That was the L.A. terrible versus the Chicago awful. That was the worst game of the season, maybe.
Yeah.
Offensively.
Again, Trubisky's not the answer for Chicago in long term.
Love is the answer, but you know that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But
Lovey is the
But I just want to say again,
what the world needs now is.
I just want to keep bullet pointing. I think Trubisky can be revived. I'm not going to say ever to start. I think he can be revived. It's unfortunately, I don't think he'll be in Chicago, and probably as a backup, and maybe down the road he could be a starter.
Jacksonville.
I think the situation's too damaged,
Denver.
and they just need to move on.
Tampa Bay. Other games are things of highlighting, noting. We can talk about Kaepernick if you want.
Kaepernick?
Talk about games first.
I'll ask Lugs. How about Kirk Cousins? The hate on Kirk Cousins.
I got to
hear this.
But for
Cousins.
the first time, he put on the big boy pants and earned his money.
Dad, can I have those big pants over there?
I mean, seriously.
The craziest thing is they were shut out in the first half and the second half. They scored on every drive.
Yeah.
They scored 27 points after the break.
Only 14 NFL games in history, a team has come back down 20 at halftime. How about that? 20-0.
Now that's a stat.
Only 14 games, so that was one of them.
And again, I guess since we're just do it like
Yes.
quick, Dak Prescott, yet another game, earned his money. I don't know when that check's going to be written, but like it's time to pay that
It's
man.
invisible ink or something.
It's time to pay that man. I mean, his best wide receiver, Amari Cooper, he looks like he's injured. Doesn't matter. Michael Gallup also really stepped up. And, Randall Cobb has kind of revived his career. So
Kaepernick real quick.
hit it, yeah.
That's another debacle. It's bad PR for the NFL. They may have gotten away with it a little easier, but Myles Garrett, took away all the heat from that whole thing. But Kaepernick, it's like if you want to play, you got to come in. It's like an audition. If you're auditioning for a play, you got to go to where they're auditioning.
He's 32 years old, hasn't played in 3 years. What's going to happen?
I mean, I don't think he'll play again. I mean, I know the Lugs I kind of talked about it. I think the main thing to me is like, I think Kaepernick did the right thing. He knew this was a facade, so he essentially took it to a facade level too, like where he did it, but it was mainly just to put heat back on the NFL. It was like, don't be scared. Why are you scared of me? Why are you running? He's like, you know why? I'm not playing. Like he just wanted to put it on them. I mean, I don't think he was ever going to do it because they wanted to close it off and they wanted Atlanta's people to shoot it. One of the big things I think they talked about, like he wanted his people to shoot the thing. I think he knows he's never going to play again. I mean, they waited like 2 years until he is 32,
right?
To like try it out. It's like, here, we're giving you an opportunity.
Well, bottom line though for me is they're businessmen and they want predictability. He's unpredictable. Right. So it's a return on investment is endangered. They're not going to do that.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I guess what I'm saying is like it was all like just for the
window
optics.
dressing.
It was just for optics because with a lot of things with the NFL, it's all optics. Like, do they care about guys smoking marijuana? No, they don't. I mean, if you ever hear about their drug testing, as long as you don't get hit by a cop with drugs and stuff, there's like a time where they checked you for drugs. If you came out clean, they don't test you again for the rest of the year. So then you can smoke whenever you want. So it's like they don't care about more. Obviously, too, they don't care about gambling. They said they did for a long time. Now they got a team moving to Vegas. Yeah. It's all about optics. It's like, well, we try to give him an opportunity. No, they didn't. It was a false handshake, and he was kind of right to kind of throw it back because to be fair, at this point, he probably made peace with it a few years ago. He's not playing again in the NFL,
and he doesn't need the money.
No, I mean he's got a good job with Nike deal. Yeah. So, and obviously he probably has a lot of probably speaking engagements that he gets paid for. So it's like
well,
at this
and
point,
he walked away from the NFL with a good chunk of change.
Yeah. So
it's a Thanksgiving turkey. Is that about it?
Yay! Well, we're going to do wild ass predictions.
Yes, take it away. You decide, we report, or we predict, you decide.
You want to take it there,
I'll
dog?
start off. As great as story Minnesota was, them losing to Iowa has set up what I think will happen.
Big Ten.
The last week of the season of the Big Ten regular season play, they're going to lose the opportunity to represent the West in the championship to Wisconsin. Wisconsin will win,
ramp it up,
and they will play Ohio State and get obliterated again.
Yeah, well, I'm sharp. I'm sharpening my skates. I'm going to go out on the pond now.
On the duck pond. Oh, yes. Let's just go right over there. Yes. Okay.
All right. I think my wild ass prediction. Let's see. Cincinnati will win their next game.
Wow. You're talking about the Bengals here now?
I believe.
I'm just checking.
Cincinnati,
I thought maybe I thought it was the
something.
Reds. Maybe I wasn't sure.
So that's it for me.
What are they? 0-10.
10.
They're on 10. That's a bold move. I'll just say that. That's a bold move. Some of these wild predictions have been crazy. Have been out there. That's a bold move.
Okay, and I'm going to say, and contrary to what we just talked about, I think Kaepernick will get picked up by a team.
Wow.
That's a dead air on that one, but yes, I do believe it's true.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Mhm.
thanks for
Thanks for
that.
checking in.
Yeah.
All right, anything else before we go?
There's a special at IHOP, but we'll have to get
They're not sponsoring this program, so we won't mention them at this point. All right, you've just wasted another 20 minutes of good time. We leave you with this tip. If you're into the hokey pokey, just turn yourself around.
Oh.
We wish you good hunting, fishing, boating, and camping. Until next time, we are the Sport Weasels. So long.